This is Charlie from Fightfast. We got 3 self-defense moves. Let's get right into it.
With guys punching, this gets you used to, 1, make sure your distance is correct. 2, make sure your hands are up. And 3, you can block. You can parry these little blocks off real simple. So what I'm going to have him do at first is he's going to come in here and hit me right at my throat. I'm going to go right back at his. So we're going to move. We got firing and moving and covering, right? We fire, cover, maneuver all the time. So his job is to come in and try to hit me. My job is going to go back. I'll set up each drill, and then we'll let these guys go for maybe 10, 15 seconds a piece. You can work these drills 2 or 3 minutes a piece if you feel good. The more you do it, the more effective you are at seeing things coming at you. And you have to develop your sense, your senses of awareness. Okay, you ready, Dale? Okay, when I say go. Okay, that's going to be our first drill. Guys, I'm going to tell you, punch right in here. Oh, I got a microphone here, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Remo, come on in. And face each other. What we're going to do is the first drill for about 10 seconds, then we're going to transition to the 1-2 punch. All right, hands up, getting a good on-guard position, check your distance out. All right, good. Now, you go ahead and begin and you block. I want you guys to actually hit each other if they don't get out of the way. Good, relax.
Hey, Jimbo here with your next tip. This one's a good one. It's about lethal combat. If your life or the life of anyone you care about is threatened, using lethal force against the threatening opponent is justified. Problem is, what happens if you don't happen to have a gun or a knife on you? What happens if this dude is like twice your size? Well, that's what this tip is all about. How to use nothing but your bare hands as lethal weapons, even against larger, stronger men. This is very good stuff. I hired some U.S. Special Forces combat experts, guys who've used these moves in actual life and death fighting to show you barehanded lethal fight moves that can end a fight in seconds. But here's the thing. These moves are very ugly and very brutal. I am not allowed to post them here on this platform. If I did, it would get my channel shut down very quickly. However, if you don't mind a little deadly gore, you can see them all for free simply by going to the link in the description. These moves are definitely worth a minute of your time. And when crunch time hits and your life is on the line, you'll be damn glad that you learned these simple deadly moves. So get there now. Okay, on to our next tip.
The reason most people will grab hold of you is to gain control over you. Once they do get a hold of you, they're going to go right to work. Once that contact's been initiated, you need to react aggressively and decisively. I'm going to show you how right now. Let's go through that step by step. Once that contact's initiated, you want to react aggressively and decisively. You want to trap that hand with your opposite hand. Turn your shoulder away, turning their palm skyward. Reach up with your other hand, placing all of your fingers into their wrist and your thumbs on the back of their hand. From here, push forward, taking them to the ground. Again, once contact's initiated, you want to move aggressively, decisively. Reach up, trap the hand with your opposite hand. You're going to turn your shoulder away from that person, turning their palm skyward. You're immediately going to reach up with your other hand, and you're going to grab your fingers onto their wrist and your thumbs back behind their hand. You're going to lever and push forward, taking them to the ground.
Now this next technique is going to be a self-defense against a headlock. Now the comical thing about this is people actually put headlocks on people in the streets like we were when we were kids. It does happen. The idea is that we're going to show you a concept or a couple ways of dealing with headlocks that really show the stupidity of anybody who puts a headlock on you. It's probably the dumbest thing anybody's ever thought of doing, but a lot of dummies are out there and they do it all the time. So what we're going to do is working from a headlock position. My body, I'm again looking ahead. I don't have eyes all over the place, and sometimes I'm not going to see everything, okay? What's going to happen is he jumps up, he puts a headlock on. Okay, now I want you to notice something. Relax for a second so I can talk. Hold right there. Now in this position right now, he's in base, okay? He thinks he's in power. My body is what? My body is broken over, and right now my hips are away, and I'm over my hips. All right? I'm in a bad position. So what I'm going to do is, as we always want to do when we're grabbed, my first movement is to grab a good grab, is I'm going to grab over both of his hands. Why? So when he tries to tighten, I can defend the grip. I'm now going to take my left leg, and I'm going to shift right underneath his other foot and step right in and shift my hip all the way in. Now turn around. When I make the hip shift in, I take my hand, hit the hip, and break his base. Now turn back around. He's here now. Now who's in base? My hips are underneath me. I've got the grip broke. Hold it tight. I've got his grips controlled. The hip is all the way out. My hips are all the way in. Now what I'm going to do is, remember, I have some options. I can rake the shin. Come on down with the camera. I can place my foot, rake the shin. I can stomp the foot. I can pinch. Very painful in here. Look at his ribs. I can bite. But from here, I'm going to go 1, my left hand comes up over the top. 2, I'm going to pry out. My right hand strikes to the neck. Again, go ahead, jump and make the grab. He goes here, I check, step, hip check. Stomp the foot. I can also strike the groin from here. Now watch my hand. Strike. Come up, pry out. Strike. Finish off. And go back to what you're doing. Now, one other thing. Come here. He gets the headlock on. Now let's say I'm here, I check, I break the hip. I can also turn straight into him. From here, take my hands, clasp my own wrist around his waist. Pull in, break his base, and sit him straight down into a mount position. I can stay on the side, I can mount, or I can finish him from here and get back up and get out. It's really up to you what you decide to do.
Thanks for watching our video lessons here at TRS Direct. Hit the like button down below and consider subscribing to our channel here on YouTube. Hit the bell icon and we'll send you a notification when there's a new lesson available. Thanks again for watching.